Growing up in a small town, I learned that connections go beyond blood. They're built through shared experiences, friendships, and the moments we celebrate together.
I know we didn't have a stoplight.
Okay.
So we could cruise Maine.
Yeah.
All the way Lehi, Maine, turn around at Western Tack and Togs, all the way to American Fork, turn around and come back, and would do that for hours. No stop signs and very few cops.
Just, wow.
And when I was little, I remember playing school, and I would grab my mom's recipe book because it looked like a roll book.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I would put my doll in my dad's cowboy boots so that they were sitting up. And that was the direction I wanted to go from a young age.
Was in education.
And probably the scariest day of my life was walking in to the faculty room and seeing my teachers sitting there.
Yeah.
And most notably, Lloyd Jacobson, Kent Day, and I can't remember Mr. Pierce's first name, but I remember thinking, I can't go in there. I actually started in October. At the beginning of the school year,
Had already started, okay.
Yeah, there weren't any jobs available. And so one came up in October, and that was just such a blessing for me. 100%. When I walked out of Lehi High School, the last day of school in 2016, I sobbed in the parking lot. And I thought, what am I doing? I tell people I loved Skyridge, but I'm always a pioneer. I love teaching marketing because I would tell my students, hey, you already know a ton of this.
Yeah.
You're consumers.
Yes.
You make decisions. You watch advertising. I think it was 1996, I went to a conference up in Salt Lake, and they had flown in a guy, his name was Jeff McCauley, from Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Okay.
And he had started a sports marketing program there. And he talked about all the fun things they did. They wanted to contribute to the school.
Yeah.
And then that year, there was no curriculum, basically.
Okay.
And my husband is a big sports talk radio guy. So he would listen to that, and then he'd come home and go, hey, you need to talk about this in your sports marketing class and do this as a case study. And my students thought I was so into sports.
Yeah.
And they wanted to raise money, and they had this idea of what would then become the Mascot Bowl, where you have all these mascots playing against these 8th grade, these junior high kids.
Yeah.
Because at Lehi, we couldn't fit everybody who came.
Yeah.
And so I think probably at Skyridge we would get between 4,000 and 5,000 people to come.
Wow.
Yeah. And we would raise enough money to take between 150 and 175 kids shopping and give them $100 each. We wanted it to model a little bit after the Super Bowl.
Yeah, sure.
But we had some really fun halftime acts, quarter break acts that would come, and they would generally do it for free.
Wow.
But that was because they had a relationship with the Utah Jazz or the Jazz Bear too. People would ask me, how do you know him? I said, I don't. I just called.
Yeah.
I just had the courage to call.
Sure.
And one of our summer meetings we were planning, and my students were all there, and they said, could we get Carl Malone? And John says, I don't know, let me call him. And
so you just called?
Yeah, his contact list was just, don't ask me a dumb question. So you figure it out.
Sure, yeah.
Problem solve. I've had probably a dozen, maybe not that many, maybe 6 to 8 kids that went into that.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
that's fun.
That is fun.
Look at all the people who came. Look how much fun they were having.
Yeah.
We did it.
Well, and I think that's, so yeah, again, whether they go into sports marketing or not, just having that pat on the back or that success under their belt.
A lot of the credit for the Mascot Bowl and its success goes to other people.
Sure.
And my administrators who were supportive, because I know looking back they had to turn a blind eye and go, okay, I guess we'll let you do that.
Sure.
But they were always very supportive, because in the long run, even though I probably broke a few rules, they knew it was for a good cause. When Rulon Gardner allowed my students to put his gold medal around their neck, that was fun to see that experience. We set a Guinness World Record.
Wow.
We had, the Jazz Bear was up in a helicopter, and he dropped a football down, and it was the longest football drop that was caught by a guy named Aaron LeSueur, who is a famous Utah athlete. I really do think that there's nothing, I guess there is something, I just haven't experienced it.
Sure.
But about ending your day, having a good encounter with a student, or knowing that you made a difference a little bit that day. I said, maybe I made it look too easy. I don't know, but I absolutely loved every day of teaching.
Yeah.
There were things I didn't like a lot, but for the most part, I loved everything. Sometimes it doesn't take a whole lot other than here's a little candy bar.
Sure.
To,
Just
I
to
don't
pick
know.
me up, just to say, hey, keep on the path.
Yeah.
Keep going. You're doing better than you think.
And he grabbed the remote control helicopter and said, I guess I don't need this, and put it back. One of my sports marketing kids just scooped him up, put him on his shoulder, and they were best buddies by the end of the hour shopping.
Wow.
COVID shut us down for a couple years, and then Dave Rutter from Costa Vida contacted me, and he said, hey, are we ever going to do that again? And I said, Dave, I don't have the Mascot Bowl anymore to raise the money.
Yeah.
And he goes, I'll find you the money. Honestly, the people who benefit the most from our bear hugs are the high school kids.
Yeah.
They get to have that satisfaction of I really helped somebody, and I see a different side of Christmas than maybe what they're used to. Right now, my new career is grandma babysitter.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
Which is awesome. I don't have to, there's no dress code to look very far to
No, you
find
really
people
don't.
who love this community and put in hours to make it better. Some people don't realize that.
Oh, yeah.
But they do it because they love this place.
Oh, yeah.